great. You guys are just like, oh my god.
Why does he not have a target up there?
Can we beat it? Oh no, there it is. It's right there. 6-8. That's an extension now.
Oh, over on the 15 minute?
15 minutes. You can go to if you want to learn about basic CCI, which is the 14 CCI, you can go to woodyccicicom.com, and that has a wealth of information about the basic CCI patterns, which is always helpful to understand. If you want to learn about how I use CCI, then you go to candacehaven.net, go in the library, there's a couple of video seminars online. There's, Dr. Bob and I, we are training partners for years, okay? I train it a little bit more conservatively than he does, because I only train with the trend, where he'll, take some more because he's different than that. And also too, I have, an affinity for his strength as well, so like both my training.
Yeah.
So,
How do you stay in training this long? Is it just from experience?
look at this swing trade from this morning.
Because it kills me to be up a point.
Okay, the reason that we have this target of 688 up here is because we went through the 1.272 and 1.618, and what I did was I took the retracement tool. That's why I have that value ready there. Went to edit, shut off the others, and turned on the 2.618. Now, I don't know if we're going to make it there. If we get a pullback now, we'll do from this high to whatever the low is, and we'll have new 1.272s and 1.618s. So far, we're still maintaining above the support sim on the 3-minute. So it's still, the long's still good. Same interchangeable term. Well, like I said to someone before, red means stop, green means go. So green also means money. So actually, how much did that break? That. Actually, that 1618 only broke by 2 ticks, and as I said yesterday, I like the longer time frame. To break by 3 ticks on the Russell. So I'm going to consider that 1618 still valid. Denise, that 1618 I'm still saying is valid because it only broke by 2 ticks on there. So it would really be a time to look again for possible reasons to want to exit the trade. And I don't see any yet. Cool. Well, that's not going to happen today, though. I don't think. I can.
No, for tomorrow morning? If we're gonna put tomorrow morning, we're putting my charts up, tomorrow's gonna run lows on those charts. I think it'll flow a lot easier like
Yeah.
that. And then I'll be able to stand up and point things out, and if we can get a swing into tomorrow morning,
I have to.
go through it.
I have to set my.
Well, that was profitable though.
What?
You said I think
Yeah.
and it would be good. If you were to just set up a couple of more things, the way that I can read it.
Yeah, but then the CCS might not match yours because of the data feed. Okay, fine. So we'll do it that way. And maybe I can try to put an even on it. Yeah, that's fine. That answers it. This one? Sure. High is 685.30, and the low is 683.10.
And always happy to answer emails, look charts, and anything else that's going to help, okay? 4:50. I stop trading at 4:15, and if my darling husband goes to work in the evening, I get that behind 8 o'clock, and maybe join Angela for a little funeral, or just do some charts, and we're in the room a lot, and And you don't want to feel responsible for other people in the same way trade. You know what I mean? But you have to like keep a stand. That's what I'm saying. You have to take a stand and stand behind your plan.
This could be reacting now off the 1618. Yeah, now we have to watch. That 1618 extension is still valid because it just barely broke, and I would want to see that break by 3 ticks, like I was saying yesterday. And if you notice, we're flattening out somewhat on the 50 on the. We could break the 100 line now on the 53-minute and break that support sim. So that would call an end to that trade, but it was a very nice trade.
So basically, there were 2 trades this morning and 1 trade with
And all 3 were
that
winners.
if I had taken the ball properly, would have netted 6 plus points. Maybe 2 contracts today.
And it was three trades for the
Yeah, and
winners.
that's what I'm trying to, it's just as important, like I said, to stay focused on what you're doing. And that's why I don't want to see you have to decide which trade what you're doing. And then I'm saying, you want to back test and say, well, you want to look at the let's do this and do it. Once you can back test anything in your play, you're going to develop that into your plan because your plan has to be consistent with what you have confidence in.
Okay, we're challenging that support symmetry now, and it's a make or break situation. Either the 50 is going to bounce, 50 CCI is going to bounce at the 100 line, and we'll get another slingshot on the 14-6 combination, or it's going to break the 100 line at the same time we break the support symmetry. And that means the trend, as we have defined it, has terminated. From having a plan, the only thing she and I have to do is still just merge some rules because I'm a pain because I say, no, you can't go long now because of price and time.
And then again, you do it twice. And then you go, what are you trying to do?
Do I use any? No. I notice them when they're there sometimes, but a ghost to me is only going to be valid with divergence anyway. And that's the study I did when I first joined Carolyn's room, was some of those patterns versus the symmetry. They don't work. They might work, like a ghost might work at some point in time when there's no sim there, and Woodens room, they don't know about that, whether there's sim or not. But like the Vegas, I did hundreds of Vegas trades in a spreadsheet. Like if there were a Vegas right now, 83% of the time, if you have support sim and you're trying to trade a Vegas, it's sim will roll. 83% of the time, the Vegas will fail. The Vegases that win, Vegas trades that win, are because on the longer term you're up against price and time, and it was time for a reversal based on this work. But if you're just going straight out look for the ghost, it's not going to work. You're getting a trade?
Yeah, but I want to ask you something. Can you?
Yeah.
Show you something.
What's up?
All right, now look. This is different.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's resolve that later.
Don't bother.
Yeah. There's nothing to do about it.
No.
Okay, at this point, that support symmetry on the 3-minute is still holding, and we flattened out at the 100 line. It's nicer to see a more defined bounce, so I'm still not confident that this is going to hold.
Well, you know, I mean, you're starting to think, well, the market's gone up, and what are we going to do? It's got to start selling off. But really, what I would like you to try and do is take away your preconceived notions, take it out of your head, and let's look objectively at this 3-minute chart. Right now, we have price holding support. We have the 50 CCI over 100. So if we're following our plan, even though we're starting to get a little antsy, there is no reason to exit. Okay? So we're going to bite the bullet. And we know, I mean, our stop, our salvation is only a couple of ticks away. We know where our stop is, and, we're just going to hold and we're going to follow the plan here.
And her job is eternal Mine's the naysayer.
He's Dr. Doom. Right now,
Right
the logical stop is going to be a break of that 3 minute support, because not only are you breaking that support, but your 50 CCI will now be crossing that 100 line. And just think of CCI over the 100 line. The CCI is in fresh open air. You know what I mean? So the sky's the limit. Once it comes back down into earth, you know, so the
very-
100 lines are very good support in the distance right now themselves.
These? Those support lines. See? And the retracement here.
It's my plan calls is like
This is almost an overlapping 618 of the last swing and symmetry. Corrective move. So this is particularly strong when you see a 618 and symmetry lining up. That's why it's make or break situation. And we do indeed have the 100 line being challenged at this point. Please.
The question was, when I have my trade here, do I wait for a close below the 100 line or a cross of the 100 line? Now, there's two separate scenarios. Like I was saying, if I have my runner and I've already taken my first 2 targets off and I'm up still over a point, I will wait for a close. But if I am in the beginning stages of my trade and I am up less than a point, I'm only up 7 or 8 ticks, the cross will be good enough, because if you wait for the close, you risk going into negative territory.
So it depends on how fresh your trade is.
But that's part of the plan, and it's
It's-
actually written in my plan.
Yeah, it's much better if we can not have a little clutch when there are a lot of people out there. We should keep questions and answers this way.
That's why I use them.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Saying that so it's real. Yeah, I know. It would work just as well if it was out into the world. That wasn't directed towards you.
I don't take them personal ever.
Oh my God. And I take everything you do personally.
Such a wonderful team.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm the doormat and you're the stomper.
So look at that, it's just not crossing.
Yeah, it's not.
You see too how you're getting that something over the 100, so, you know, gotta wait.
This would just be on the runner at this point anyway. We're booked. Only when the trade has been originated because of a specific pattern, chart pattern. Like for instance, the 2 steps that I've been showing. We had a pattern this morning. Our second trade this morning was off a very specific Fibonacci relationship pattern that involves time as well. And if we got into a trade and then that was violated because the pattern was violated because of the number of bars, it becomes questionable. In general, no, though. Okay.
I'll do it, just give me
Similarity or equality in the moves, in the market moves. Or equality, yeah. It's simply measuring a prior corrective swing and taking 100% of that swing and projecting it from the new high or low on the chart. So we're taking 100% of move A and projecting from point B, the concept being that if the rhythm of the market, if the trend is going to continue, it can't go down below that. So that's all it is. 100. Look at this. I'll show you. This symmetry level here.
You use that eye with the threshold.
Yeah. See this red line? It's simply 100% of this move projected from the new high. That's all it is. Right. That's all it is. Right. It's 100%. Yeah. Someone had just asked me what symmetry is. It's a similarity or equality in the moves within a trend. And for instance, this red line here, this symmetry here, is simply 100% of this corrective decline projected from the new high. The idea being that if the new decline is corrective, it can't go more than the prior corrective declines. Instead of, yes, well, sort of, it's a messy one. Very messy. It should be in alignment, you know. Retracement, in a retracement, you're going from one point to another, and you're looking for ratios in between. That's why these two things combined is so powerful, because you're taking, I think of it as like a vice on the market, or like tweezers. You're looking at it from the top down and from the bottom up. And when those two things coincide. Right.
This is for summer. Aren't you glad we're still in this trade? I'm not, because I was talking and I didn't move my stop. But if I hadn't been careless, I would still be, because on every single time frame I have, the CCI is still over 0, and we're still holding that support. I mean, over 100. Blah.
Still holding the support, and it's not giving us a reason to leave. I mean, it would just be a runner.
I mean, other than that, you're starting to get a little freaked out that, you know, you're still in this trade and it's not doing anything.
I'll show you what I have on my computer. You know the word cool cat, keeping cool? I'll show you what I've drawn on, and I actually printed it up.
Mark, when you make your symmetry, you would never go beyond the prior trend.
No, that's
Some people, that's okay, but you
You know
that's a disconnected swing.
It's a character of that swing.
That's called a disconnected swing, and it's just as bad as the most common mistake that I see with retracement levels. Let me just show you.
I should still be
But I'm not.
Meaning that in place. That's worthless, because you have to do well. It's just more of or here, you know, the low to high. Because it helps.
So obviously I'm not as cool as I thought I was.
You're
because I
cool,
got
Summer.
nervous.
You're cool.
Well, I'm talking about my trading because I got nervous then, or I would have been nervous and I would have taken my profits.
Okay, here you're starting to get your 100-line cross. We're still holding that support. So at this point, we could probably afford to wait for the close if the support doesn't break.
Swing, right? You know what? You have to be able to block. So you click it. So you on the left. So that one, make sure you go high. Low, low. So there's a ring. So I have to go high. You get a new high, things like that.
We want to get rid of them, David. Natural selection. It's the Bible.
I'm learning. Yeah, you did great. Okay, now we're kind of breaking the 100 here.
Let's see if I. Yeah, I said that already.
Oh, you did.
When you were chatting.
It's interesting though, the sim is holding.
I said that because we were holding this support. I said that because we were holding this support,
Yeah.
that we would opt to wait for the close.
Oh,
of
that's
the
perfect.
100 line.
You should.
If we. I have traded for you, and you have traded for me. But this is, we have, you know what we do? I'm just going to send you mine,
Yeah.
and you can, because you're the creative one,
All
you
right.
can just flush it, and maybe we can just put together one solid
Right.
thing. And we have lots of other ones.
As Denise said, we're waiting for the close because the sim held. But once CCI is telling us the momentum may be reversing, the likelihood then of the symmetry holding diminishes. So
What was that?
It was just a catty little joke.
yeah. Oh, which reminds me, I just got to
Denise, you trade all the way until,
It's still holding.
So,
you don't stop after cash.
so
It's still the end with the runner.
used to be in,
Yeah.
because the bar hasn't,
We're waiting for the bar to close the CCI below the 100,
Yeah.
or force him to break.
I mean, we've already booked the majority of the trade. The profits is just a runner.
so is that divergence because price is going up and the CCI is?
No,
No.
no, because the peak in price and CCI were simultaneous. It would be divergence if we had a new high here.
Okay.
And
Now, I just want to note one thing, and I'm not critiquing, Mark has to use minute charts for his own work, but just something interesting to notice. I use, in lieu of a 3 minute, I use 1,000 volume. My 1,000 volume CCI is still well over the 100.
And you trade off the 250.
Okay?
And you trade off,
I trigger
233 is close.
on the 133.
I'm sorry, the 150.
Right, but what I'm doing, once the trade gets past a certain point, and you're looking at 3 minute support, you wanna look at a comparable time frame for your exit now, because now you're basing your reasoning for staying in on that time,
Yeah, you
on
have
the
to do
time
that.
frame. So I'm just letting you know, and that's what I was saying about the subtle differences between the volume charts and the minute charts. It's a comparable as far as time goes.
Right.
But mine is not under. My 1,000 volume is not under. And because we're holding support,
I also prefer this, how the CCI behaves on the tick and volume charts. And I would have more of them up here now, except that my screen space is very limited. And I need the minute charts to run the levels. I mean, the timing on the 15, I could switch to 1,000 volume for the, which we'll do that tomorrow. I mean, but we can't have as many charts as usual.
and there we go.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. So would you be out now?
Yes,
Or we'll close?
yes, close out.
At the close of 5.
Let's see how much broke by.
We'll definitely.
Yeah, well, 65.70, and the level was 65 by 110. But we do have resistance. You see, even though we took out the prior low just by 1 tick, but we can actually set up resistance now. Yeah. Well, but that is a reminder. Yeah, see, it's a reminder that the symmetry is the symmetry of the market has changed.
Which ironically, after all this, I wasn't that bad off by not moving the, swap. I mean,
Depends on how
I
many
didn't
contracts.
make it to the target because of that, but, which really would have been the best case scenario. I did, what happened, I was talking, and my graphic shade is set so that when you want, you have to keep this number of tissue on the free side, and I had done that, and then I got into the heavy conversation, and all of a sudden we heard, bam, bam, and then you lose. So, but I mean, that's not the point of it, is not to make you your, make all kinds of money, or make you your, help you guys make all kinds of money.
I'm surprised that you can't, like, the way I have my native side, you could just
Then it
keep.
automatically, there
Yeah.
might be a feature in it, but I'm not,
Should be.
I don't know the basics of it.
No, I know in Maven, we're talking about in bracket. No, I know there is. I have mine set that way in Maven, yeah. Yeah. Hmm? Take it step by step. Take it slow. You know, Maven, I don't know everything about Maven. I mean, they